Hello again and welcome to our August 2023 edition of Quick Kit. Links to everything that we mentioned will be down in the description below. One of the most exciting releases this month has to be the Rode Wireless Pro. This is an upgrade to Rode's incredibly popular Wireless Go kit, and it has some seriously excellent new additions. The kit comes with a single RX which can receive two sources from the two included transmitters, timecode sync internally, and has 32GB of internal memory for the new internal 32-bit flow onboard recording function. This is awesome, as it means you can still record your sources into your camera or recorder and then record a 32-bit flow backup on the Wireless Pro itself, which is fantastic for mission critical recording. 32-bit flow is incredible and means you don't have to worry about setting your gain perfectly every time, making it great in those moments of panic when your feed into your camera is set wrong. It also has locking 3.5mm mic connectors, which means mics will be much more secure now. It has a range of up to 260 meters, and it also features Rode's intelligent gain assist technology, which will be helpful for run and gun scenarios. Another cool little detail is that the 3.5mm output on the RX can actually be used as another input for something like a narrator microphone. At £399, it offers a serious range of features and comes with an extensive range of helpful accessories like a charging case and two lavalier 2 microphones. These look really versatile, and I can see these being incredibly popular just like the previous set. DJI has announced that they will be offering their excellent wireless video system in this new standard combo. This is the same system that was released back with the Ronin 4D, and it is a really solid low latency wireless video system. It has been available to buy separately from the 4D for about a year now, but only when bundled with DJI's monitored receiver. This new TXRX bundle allows you to use it with any camera and monitor combination that you would want. This is good if you didn't want to go down the route of buying the RX monitor from DJI, which is actually pretty good, but it would lack the flexibility versus a regular 7-inch monitor with an RX attached. It's actually priced the same as the monitor bundle, which is a bit of a shame, given how much less tech is being crammed into a receiver over the monitor receiver combo. I would have thought it would have been priced lower. Still, I guess if you want to use DJI's wireless system with a larger production monitor or a different smaller monitor, it's good to have the option to pick this up. You can get the TX and RX units separately as well, which could be helpful if you already have a TX and want to grab an RX for your kit. The system performed well when we tested it on the Ronin 4D, so I'd love to see a HDMI version at a lower cost to open it up to more people to try for themselves. Atomos have announced their latest monitor recorders, the Ninja and the Ninja Ultra. This is an updated version of their Ninja 5 series recorder, and while they do share a lot, there are a few key improvements. They share the same dimensions and design as the Ninja 5, but feature a new beige brownie colour, which definitely looks interesting. It looks to use the same 5.2-inch 1080p 1000 nits panel from the Ninja 5. I do wish that this was a touch brighter. When it comes to recording capabilities, it features a bunch of the regular codecs possible with the previous Ninjas, but they both now come with H.265 recording as standard. The regular Ninja is limited to 6K ProRes RAW, whereas the Ultra can capture 8K up to 30 and can record H.265 proxies while recording 4K 60. They also run the new Atom OS 11, which looks quite different from the previous versions. It looks a lot cleaner and is said to run faster too. They also have a range of new features such as ARRI Force Color and EL Zone for exposure. When used with the Atomos Connect, you'll be able to use Remote View, which essentially allows you to stream the image of the Ninja screen with other Atomos monitors and Apple devices wirelessly. The Ultra has a low latency mode that the regular Ninja does not when used with the Connect. This is a bit of an odd update, as they share so much with the existing Ninja 5 and 5 Plus. I really wish they'd upgraded the screen to be at least 1500 nits, or even maybe update the media to be faster using a modern NVMe based standard. They are priced a bit higher than the 5 and the 5 Plus, but these new features may be worth the extra for you, and if not, the Ninja 5s are still available. Laowa released their latest lens earlier this month, the Pro2B 24mm T8 2x macro lens, and we actually covered it in a recent video, link to which is here. This new probe lens series builds on their incredibly popular probe lens, but improves in several critical ways. It features a T8 aperture, a close focus of 4mm, features a longer waterproof barrel, and the ability to be fully rotated. It's available in 3 different configurations, the direct view, 35 degree, and periscope, all of which give you a new and interesting perspective to shoot with. These lenses are incredibly exciting, And if you want to see exactly how they perform, check out our video, and if you want to pre-order them, you can now on cvp.com. Laowa also announced two new focal lengths for their Nanomorph series, a 65mm and an 80mm, and they also announced a 1.33x front anamorphic adapter, which I'm interested to check out. Aputure has announced that they are acquiring Prolycht. This could mean some incredible things, as Prolycht has developed some great fixtures over the past few years. I'm unsure what this means for the Data-Lite partnership that Prolycht had with them, but I am excited to see what comes from this partnership. Ted confirmed in the comments section of this Newsshooter article covering this acquisition that there will be more details at IBC, so make sure to subscribe ready for our IBC Roundup video coming out later in September. Sony has released firmware version 4 for the FX6. This new firmware was announced back in June and it's available to download now on Sony's website. This new firmware brings some features from other Sony cameras over to the FX6. This includes functions such as in-camera 1.3 and 2x D-squeeze, support for flexible ISO and CNI quick modes, autofocus in slow and quick mode starting at 7 frames per second, adding the Cine style file naming system, and a few other little details. If you want to download it, you can via the link in the description below. ARRI has released SUP 1.2.0 for the LX35. This new update brings support for the new CCM1 7-inch monitor, unlocks touch operation on the MVF2 viewfinder, has an improved audio gain user interface, extended erase media warnings, a new transport position for the ND filters, and a few other features and bug fixes. They also released SUP 2 for their C-Force Mini and C-Force Plus motors. This major update makes the motors twice as responsive as the previous firmware, which is pretty impressive. They also now have an encoder mode that allows the lens axis held by a lens motor to be rotated manually by hand, while still allowing lens data from custom lens files to be recorded and displayed. For the full release notes on these, head over to ARRI's site via the links below. Sony have announced three new products, the A7C II, A7CR, and 16-35mm f2.8G Master 2. We managed to get a very short amount of time with them over a weekend a couple of weeks back to see how they perform. We created a video all about them, so if you want to learn more in depth, check that out. But long story short, the A7C II is essentially an A7 IV in a smaller body with some of Sony's new software improvements sprinkled on, such as their most up-to-date AI-based autofocus system. The A7CR shares a lot with the A7C II, but uses the same sensor as the A7R5. This means it shares a lot of its key specs with the A7R5, but it does have a few reductions from it, such as no internal 8K recording, reduced stills options, and a lesser viewfinder, but in a much smaller body, costing a good chunk less. The 16-35mm f2.8G Master 2 is an update to the now 5-year-old version 1, and it improves it in pretty much every single way. The images and footage we managed to capture with the lens look great. It's a very sharp, clean lens, which is what you should expect if you are grabbing a Sony G Master lens. It's definitely a good upgrade over the old 16-35mm G Master. It's smaller, lighter, and can produce great looking clean and detailed imagery while also being more tailored to video shooting, thanks to the declickable iris control ring, XD linear motors, and lighter design. Link to our video looking at these products more is down in the description. Before we get into the honourable mentions, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you want to buy anything you see in this video or any other filmmaking or photography gear, head over to cvp.com where our experienced team is waiting to help you. Right, let's get into our quickfire honourable mentions. Links to details about these are in the description below. Adobe has announced Premiere Pro 23.6. DJI has announced the Osmo Action 4. Douglas has created a set of ID rings for the Blackwing lenses, and these will make identifying them much easier. Feelworld has released two new monitors, the S55 V2 and F5 Pro X. Hollyland announced the Venus Live streaming camera. Matthews has announced the Mini Boom rolling kit. Mutiny has released the bolt-on quick release strap system. Mikaton has released a set of Super 35 T1 Cine Primes. Tamron has announced the 78-180mm f2.8 Di3 VC VXD G2. Teradek released the Prism mobile backpack. Tilta has released a range of accessories for the Red Komodo X and a new cooling system attachment for the ZVE1. Panasonic and DJI have announced that they will be working closer together with the integration between their cameras and DJI's gimbals and LiDAR system. SanDisk announced their new professional G Drive project series of Thunderbolt 3 hard drives, which are available from 6 to 22 terabytes. Simod has released a new range of LPL mounts for different vintage lenses. Sirui has released the Venus 150mm t2.9 1.6x full frame anamorphic lens and the SVT75 tripod system. Vaxis have released the Atom 600 HDMI wireless video system. Wise announced 2 new CF Express Type A cards, a 512GB and a 160GB Pro version. Wooden Camera has announced a range of new accessory mounting plates and monitor hinge. CCAM has released an LPL mount for their E2 flagship cameras. And lastly, Zeiss has released the Syncraft Scenario camera tracking system. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you subscribe ready for next month's Quick Kit. And let us know what kit you've picked up this month in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.